morning. Well, Monday they say is for people with a mission. It's a famous quote by Christina Imrie. And for those of you who are lazy like me, I don't really like Mondays. Well, I hope that your coffee is strong and your Monday is short. Good morning. Welcome to Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. This is Trends in the Papers. This is where we bring you the latest headlines and news stories making waves across Nigeria and beyond. 7:40 a.m. every Monday to Friday. We sit here and we more or less guide you through today's top stories amid insightful discussions. And today's not going to be any different. If anything, it will be better. The program involves us sifting through the headlines. We're analyzing the trend. We would hear from our analyst, of course, about the implications of these stories on our day-to-day lives. So we implore you to stay tuned and join us as we navigate these very, very pressing issues of the day. And don't forget to join the conversation because we do the best we can to involve everybody regardless of geographical restrictions. So even if you're outside the country and you'd like to participate, we do have a very active social media platform that doubles as our streaming platform, Facebook and YouTube. I know Facebook works in pretty much every country except in places where it's banned, but if you have access to Facebook or you have access to YouTube, you most certainly have access to us. So follow us so that you know when somebody's on air. I know it might be hard to keep track of all the programs, or if you turn on your post notification button on Facebook or YouTube, the minute we're live, it sends you a notification to join the live. That's how you can listen to us from any part of the country that you're at. Now, for those of you who don't have your radio on you but still want to listen to us, we have a website as well. You can listen via the website. So the website, www.mainlandfm.com. Once you enter the website, is pretty much the first thing you see. The click to join the live stream, or well, not the live stream, but you can listen via the website. You can also interact with us via social media. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on every social media platform there is. On X, we're at Mainland FM, but on every other social media platform, including Facebook and YouTube, where we stream, we're at Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Sage Babalola. It's our usual practice here to keep you abreast of all the things that have happened over the course of the weekend. I know that you don't really want to spend your entire week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just looking through the papers. It's okay. We're here to bridge that gap, any story you might have missed over the course of the weekend. And I'll just give you an insight into some of the trending stories before we start looking at today's papers. It is the 21st day in the month of July 2025. Before you know it, the year 2025 is over, but we would be here to keep you up to speed with everything happening as we progress very rapidly into the year. Let's look at the Guardian newspaper, the weekend stories. Guardian had reported Tinubu promised 24/7 power. 2 years after, 90 million Nigerians are still in darkness. This is the statement from the ADC. Ogun Psychiatric Hospital warns doctor, suspends nurse for fighting. Peter Obi withdraw threat or face legal action, Falana tells Okpebholo. Over 10 trucks seized as Lagos enforces third mainland bridge restriction. Senator Natasha empowers 250 youth with drones and digital skill. The Punch reported Tinubu appoints IBB's son, Mohammed Babangida, others as head of government agencies. Okpebholo's warning to Peter Obi not threat, says Edo government. Senate warns Natasha to stay away from National Assembly. Army deactivates 14 illegal refining site. Arrest 62 suspects in Niger Delta. Police probe attack on Anambra PDP governorship candidate. Seek public help. Serap sues federal government over non-release of NDDC forensic audit report. Dangote confirms refinery upgrade to 700,000 barrels per day capacity. Nigeria's public debt may hit 160 trillion naira by December, according to a report. Okpebholo's warning to Peter Obi is not a threat, says Edo government. And finally, for Vanguard, my kids cannot get Nigerian citizenship because Nigerians get UK easily, says Badenoch. She says, my kids cannot get Nigerian citizenship, but Nigerians get UKs easily, says Kemi Badenoch, conservative leader. INEC rejects appointment of SDP acting chairman, queries constitutionality. EERC issues new tariff. Crashes band A from 209 naira to 160 naira per kilowatt. Airpeace to start direct flight from Abuja to London Heathrow. MBA to National Assembly. Amend Electoral Act to mandate IRF Beavers use. These are some of the most famous stories that trended over the course of the weekend. We still have a lot for you this morning. Fᴜʟd Side will be, of course, joining us. Before we bring on Side Fᴜʟd, I would like to once again ask that you join our live stream. We're on Facebook, so please join us, and you can even start commenting on the stories as we go along, and you can even start interacting with other people who are on the live stream to make the conversation. Well, thank you. I should say congratulations. Yes. I actually just became privy of that information when I looked at Sade's social media. I don't know if you want to give specifics of why I'm congratulating you, but I'll not jump the gun. I'll just say thank you.
I think we just leave it like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know that there's no need for specifics, but congratulations. So, are you bringing goody to the office? You know, to say
that will happen definitely.
Obviously, because I was about to say your security in the office premises is not guaranteed. If you come here,
it will never be guaranteed.
It can never be guaranteed if you come to this office.
And like Robert will say carry.
Of course, but will somebody marry me if I do that kind of thing?
Why not?
If I do that kind of thing, marry me.
Why not?
Well, congratulations, Rod. I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very happy for all the good things that are happening. Yes. All right. Well, Fᴜʟd, quite a number of things happened over the course of the weekend, and I think we already, for anybody who caught that reference, would understand what exactly I'm talking about with Monday Okpebholo and the statement he made to Peter Obi, where he said that the safety of Peter Obi, of course, there's been a lot of backlash. Femi Falana has spoken about it. The Edo government have, of course, released a statement to explain that was not a threat. Think of it as a security advisory. It was not a threat at all. We're misinterpreting the whole thing. We're blowing things out of proportion and making a storm out of a glass of water. But there are almost everybody thinks that was some. Just a minute for us to just quickly play that before I get your analysis on that conversation this morning. I'll be back.
He cannot come to Edo without telling me, because his security will never be guaranteed. Whatever happens to him when he's in Edo State, he will take it. I am serious about it. He came the other day and donated 15 million. Somebody was saying, no, guys, she will get 15 million to donate to people. By the time he left, there was crisis. 3 people died in Benin. So for that reason, tell Obi he should not come to Edo without telling me.
Outside, are you okay?
I can hear you.
Yeah, are you okay? That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you feel? This.
Well, I don't even know what to say.
Well, that because is the state governor for saying that the Constitution is clear, right, on the right of every Nigerian. You can associate, you can travel as long as you're a Nigerian citizen. But the governor says that, and he referenced something. He said the last time Peter Obi was there were fatalities of 3 people, and that's supposed to be some sort of justification for the statement he made earlier.
Well, that government is trying to spin this reckless, irresponsible, to say the least. They say that, look, all well-meaning Nigerians should condemn this statement by the governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo. Because, again, nobody wants to eat up the politics. You don't want to set this country on fire. We have not even gotten to the thick of things, Sage. Elections are coming in 2027. Campaigns will start. Politicians will have to move around the country to mobilize for vote, get more supporters, reach out to different Nigerians in different parts of the country. And so for us to get to the point where, again, we are seeing some of this irresponsible behavior or statements from our politicians, it's really very unfortunate. Like yesterday, we explained that, look, this is not the first time we are getting things like this, or we are getting statements like this. And that's why when we talk about the fear Nigerians have about governors controlling the police in their state, this is one example, to better security arrangements in the country. The fear Nigerians will raise immediately to say, our politicians are not that cultured. Our politicians are not that disciplined. And that, look, we're going to just get into the situation where our governors will turn them to tools for political harassment and intimidation. Just imagine Monday Okpebholo, sorry, controlling the police in Edo State. He probably will not be issuing this kind of fatwa, quote and unquote, to Peter Obi. Probably will tell everybody who is not a member of the APC not to enter the state for security reasons. Again, very flimsy excuse, if you ask me. Because the statement is clear, says, are you with me?
Yes.
Your security will never be guaranteed. If you come into this, your security will never be guaranteed. And that whatever happens to you, take it. You see, we can spin these things, but we are hoping again that our politicians will understand that we have a country to protect. All this, their political shenanigans, desperation to remain in power, because at the end of the day, it's still all about public resources. We have not gotten to the point where there's enough commitment to improving the living standards of the people. It's still all about cornering the resources of the nation for their own personal benefit. And while they are at that, and we, the ordinary people, are hoping that one day things will change for us to get, quality people to move this country forward. They should not set the country on fire. They've been able to corner everything, corner people's resources, corner the wealth of the nation for themselves, buy properties home and abroad, take care of themselves at the expense of the people. But at least they should save the country. They should not set it on fire. Because this is like pushing the country to the edge.
We did see something like this before, although it wasn't necessarily a statement, yes, but in 2023, before the election, Atiku Abubakar was also not necessarily allowed into Rivers State to campaign. I don't think he campaigned in Rivers State. So, as I said,
he wasn't allowed to come in.
Statement per se or a threat per se, but he could read the handwriting on the wall, and he didn't go to Rivers State. And as you said, it has become scary in the part of the Constitution that allows for the freedom of movement just because of political rivalry. But if the Edo State government says that it was not supposed to be a threat, it was just supposed to be an advisory that, we can protect you if you come into the state. Let's see how that pans out.
So see, yes. Just imagine the president also gets to this point where he now tells politicians, look, for you to enter Abuja, it was what and then just imagine all governors of Nigeria start to do the same thing. And then maybe somebody like, who am I going to say now? The governor of Oyo State, Jᴏɪᴜ S쏘ḷíkè, because it's PDP, now also tells the president, I cannot guarantee your security. The people of Edo State, how well has the governor guaranteed their security to start with?
Wow.
Even the people in the state, the people that he has the mandate to protect, what's the amount of protection he has given them? That Peter Obi now suddenly becomes his headache for political rivalry. These guys are, again, it's just unfortunate. That's why we still talk about the electoral system and the kind of people.
Right.
We saw it.
So I can speak to
he has a first degree, he has a master's degree.
Yeah, so he is academically, he's enlightened.
In leadership studies, so that's the irony.
Yeah, that's your intelligence is the different kind of it. There's emotional intelligence, there's social intelligence, there's academic intelligence. I can speak to his academic intelligence because apparently he has a master's degree, but I don't think anyone can necessarily speak to the other kind. We start taking phone calls, we can see if people understood the other perspective and they don't consider what he said a subtle threat. But let's move on to other stories. There's really nothing surprising about a statement like that one from a politician. Another thing that really caused people to talk a lot over the weekend, Fuad, was the appointment of IBB's son, Mohammed Babangida, as the head of the Bank of Agriculture. Some people find it to be, should I say, disrespectful? Yes, that people are enjoying the benefits of something that other people spent years fighting for. Some even died in the process, right? And that some of these benefits, people will call them Nepo baby, nepotism, or what is the case. Mind you, this is not a personal opinion. This is me putting on the table the reactions that had trailed the announcement of IBB's son Mohammed Babangida as the head of the Bank of Agriculture. Fuad side, do you think that the reaction of people is uncalled for? And as long as the young man is qualified to head the Bank of Agriculture, there is nothing for people to be upset about?
Well, there's a lot for people to be upset during the June 12th election. I must tell you that up till now, I think a lot of people who lost loved ones, who were tear gas, some of us chopped as well as we were, will not be in this mess now. A lot of Nigerians have not forgiven Babangida, and to think that the last time he even had the audacity to write about what happened at that time, he only put up a book of lies upon lies. And we all saw what happened at that event. To me carefully when we have body move on. Because again, and I've gotten into power, they have not shown any commitment to even protecting that democracy. Since we all now lack the commitment to protect the democracy, can we now begin to talk about policies and all that people have gotten away with? Nobody punishes everybody. Nobody holds anybody to account. Sage, in a sane society, Babangida should be paying for his sins. Exactly what he did to cancel that particular election. It's just that, look, we just allow things to slide. And today, what the ADC, for example, is saying, the opposition coalition, is that, look, this is all about political patronage. Look, these appointments are suddenly coming as a form of political patronage to pacify the North, who have, of course, been complaining since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in, has been neglected. You know, yesterday on the roundtable, we did a long list of the new appointments. Only one came from the Southwest. About 8 or 9 others are from the North, including that of Mohammed Babangida, the son of the former military leader, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida.
Fuad.
I personally feel that, again, look at what we're saying.
Fuad.
June 12 was annulled. Do you know what happened to the Abiola family? You think the family has recovered fully? Forget about what the sons and children are saying of what happened at that time. But everything looks good now for the IBB, and we can now see, you know, the president, you know, it's far and in between, really. We've not been able to get the details of the credentials of this young man for him to have been qualified to get this appointment. But I think that, again, it's a lot of lessons to Nigerians about the fact that, look, politicians will always find a way to realign. No ideology separates them. There are no principles, really. Just about winning elections, and when it comes to political patronage, anything can happen.
Fuad, I was going to chip something in there. Remember when this administration began, there were a lot of conversations about the fact that most appointment was going to the Southwest. I remember even Huriwa, the Human Rights Association, had complained that only the Southwesterners were beneficiaries of these appointments. Would you say that maybe the decision to then bring in more people from the North was to balance the idea, or to eradicate the idea that he was favoring one region?
I'm not sure of anything for now. I can't even say.
Okay.
But I'm just telling you that the opposition agency thinks that, look, for a vibrant opposition from the ADC. So the things they had ignored that the North had complained about. I'm not talking about the justifications of all those complaints, so
right,
whether it's justified or not. But what I'm saying is that, look, the reaction to the complaints of response immediately. The question will now be, what value does this appointment bring, really? Like Bolaji Abdullahi was saying, but whether this would help the president to realign himself possibly with the North or not, we would have to wait to see. What I'm just saying is that, look, Nigerians may now start to understand that, look, we have to forget about all the stories of June 12, I fought for democracy. Because, again, what is now the difference? Everything is looking the same of the same, if you ask me. So, again, it's DG, chairman of board, chairman of this and that. Is that really what the North wants? Now, when we talk about the North, not the poor people of the North for their preferred candidate. You know, the thing about regional agenda is that it's more of personal agenda, presented as the agenda of the entire region. Because at the end of the day, it's what they call multi-level influence. The influencers are the ones that will now tell people, wait, will they be happy with these appointments, or they want more? Or they even want bigger positions? You know, one of the accusations is that, look, the juicy positions have gone to the Southwest. Finance, CBN, top ministries, you understand, the juicy ones. So if this is okay,
of course.
So, but again, that is for the political elite to decide among themselves. For the ordinary people, it's double jeopardy. Nothing will change, nothing will improve.
Well, this is still trends in the papers on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Sage Babalola. We just did a little move to the most recent stories that we have on the front pages of our dailies this morning. We're looking at the Punch. And the top story, race to 2027. PDP's flag bearer battle begins after Atiku's exit. The rider, zoning, consensus strategy, top Thursday's PDP NEC agenda. Makinde Bala I ticket. The story reads, with the race for the People's Democratic Party 2027 presidential ticket underway, former Vice President was seeking to challenge President Tinubu. Reliable PDP insiders who spoke on conditions of anonymity confirmed that the presidential ambition of Makinde and Bala were well known among key party stakeholders. Another party source told the Punch that PDP remained open to any aspirant willing to contest for the presidential ticket in line with the party's constitution. Now, PDP chieftain Chief Bode George confirmed in an exclusive interview that efforts to secure a southern presidential flag bearer are underway. Other National Executive Committee members have expressed differing opinions on the issue of zoning. Well, the PDP is preparing for its 101st NEC meeting that is scheduled for Thursday, and some of the issues that will be discussed are zoning, the party's national convention, amongst other things. But the idea of zoning within the party is something that is heavy on the list of discourse on Thursday when they have their meeting, because you know that the PDP has their internal rotational formula, and the PDP is insisting that if they are going to field a candidate, that candidate will most certainly come from the south, or at least that is the opinion of Chief Bode George, who is not a small person within the party, so we should pay attention to what he says. But a person who spoke on condition of anonymity is saying that now that Atiku has left, especially because his presidential ambition has shrouded his ability to be objective, and this is me translating loosely, his exit is going to give an opportunity for new people who also have presidential ambitions, and amongst those people are the Oyo State government have any chance. And do you believe this anonymous speaker who says that Atiku Abubakar was the primary problem of that party and his exit would otherwise...
Let's hope that the PDP can now zone their presidential ticket in peace. We'll wait to see how they are able to solve their zoning arrangement this time. Because for every other conversation the last time, it was Atiku that was the problem. Atiku. But now he's left the party for them. Who himself is to say that, I look at the irony here. Who himself has said that he will be working for the presidential candidate for the PDP. Because he has himself said, I'm in the PDP, but I'll be working for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If they decide to, are you with me, say?
I'm with you, Ford.
Or you think it's impossible? That will never happen?
I mean, I don't know. It's just...
Because when you contradiction, clearly over a year ago, that look, my mind tells me that the APC would decide who is going to be the presidential candidate of the PDP. They will choose for them. Now that the ADC has gathered enough momentum and is still gathering some momentum, you would have a situation where there will be this deal of the president. We, the PDP, have decided to adopt President Bola Tinubu.
Are you with me? Because I cannot fathom it.
The thing they do somehow for your hair.
Yes, it doesn't make... Why would a politician...
Now, according to the report.
Yeah.
How formidable is any of these candidates?
That's why I asked you that what are their chances? What sort of political structure?
On what structure is he going to run?
Don't speak to my government.
To have a chance against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. How? Where? From where to where?
Father, I don't like that. Don't speak
to
my
government. You think we are talking about your state politics here? Even the Bala Muhammad from Bauchi. Listen, you see, they know. And that's why at the end of the day, if the PDP, another prediction, or for me, if the presidential candidate, if they eventually will present somebody in 2027, the way the party is structured, though, is what I'm saying. One of the man who controls the party, who controls the structure of the party, the internal organs of the party. Yet, what else do you want to hear? We'll now be looking at Bala Muhammad or Sheikh Makinde. Are we joking here? Let's move to a serious issue.
Let's move to another story on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Nigeria spent over $3.6 billion annually on 80 years of former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. The Punch reports this translates to an annual spending of $3.6 billion during the review period. This is according to a detailed analysis of data from the Central Bank of Nigeria's quarterly statistical bulletin. The sum recorded under the health-related and social services category reflects cumulative cumulative outflow of foreign exchange from June 2015 to May 2023, precisely covering the duration of Buhari's 225 days outside the country and visited at least 40 countries during his tenure. But the most significant part of the story, Fuad, is that a cumulative sum of $29.29 billion, which is a breakdown former President Muhammadu Buhari. Fuad, what is the interpretation, or how should we react to this in Nigeria, as well as financial management and fiscal responsibility?
Troubling, concerning, if you ask me, unfortunate and ridiculous, to say the least. Very unfortunate and ridiculous, because that's money that would have kept in our economy, within our economy. You know, because again, if facilities are available, these monies will be here within our own economy. It will improve a lot of things for us than in a loan. And that's why, you know, again, God rest the soul of former President Muhammadu Buhari. But it was so himself and President Muhammadu Buhari were admitted at the same time in that hospital. They were there at the same. So, two former leaders of Nigeria. So you ask yourself, can't we build that kind of hospital here in Nigeria? And that's a hospital that, according to reports, you have to spend about $3,500 every day if you're going to receive treatment in that facility. Is it that we can't have that facility here in Nigeria? Or is it about location? Even if the facility is here in Nigeria, so far as Nigeria, our leaders cannot use it. That even if the hospital has all the equipment, has the best medical personnel, so far it is located in a particular location, you can't use it. Is that the situation? Blame me for thinking aloud, thinking, you know, in different directions as to why we have a situation where our leaders cannot decide to put those medical facilities here in Nigeria, so that it's not just only them using them, Nigerians too can also benefit from that quality.
Oh, hello.
You know that.
Hello, Fuad. Okay, I think I'm just going to disconnect and try to call him back. We apologize. We have no control over how great the service is. But if you're just tuning in, this is Milan 98.3 FM. My name is Sage Babalola, and we are having a conversation with Fuad Side. We're looking through our daily tourism whilst he was president of the Federation, $3.6 billion annually. And the conversation is around why was it difficult for us to pump that money into developing a state-of-the-art healthcare system in the country where these political elites can go for medical treatment. Fuad, do we have you back?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right, please go ahead, wrap up your thoughts.
There's something about locations and medical facilities and personnel. Because I'm sure in that London hospital, probably will find most of the doctors, or a number of the doctors will be Nigerians, not there, other medical personnel. I don't know why leaders, up till now, even the current president, you know, the report is that, look, anytime he goes to France, he has to see his doctors there, go to a particular hospital there and all of that. Why can't we have it here in Nigeria? I remember the Aisha Buhari, when she had talked about the fact that the hospital in the Aso Villa, the ordinary paracetamol no did there. At the time she visited the place. You know, it would be nice, for example, to see, you know, look at Yaya Bello now. He wants to go abroad for treatment, even though they said he married for twice.
I thought he said he had like some hospital that he built or something like that. Was that him?
They say that's why
hospital and other things. So why
can't use that to say hospital to treat
state of the heart? Anyway, it is well, Sha. But since we're talking about the healthcare sector, there is another story, different but very related. Nigeria Medical Association have offered a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government, and it would expire on July 23rd. And they're warning that if the government does not accept its demands, medical service will be suspended nationwide. The NMA president, Professor Bala Audu, confirmed this in a chat with correspondent on Sunday, that the group was prepared to take decisive action if the government failed to respond to its demand. The association's demand were vital to the sustainability of Nigeria's healthcare system. So they're protesting, as expected, for salaries, incomes, wage commission circular on amended allowances for medical and dental officers in the federal public service, which the doctors objected to for violating past agreement. So Fuad, can you now understand why these individuals don't want to use the public hospital system? Because we have doctors who are now going on strike because apparently they have not been paid their salaries, and the recent adjustment to salary is very uncomfortable for them. I have never understood why doctors who are one of the most essential personnels of a country, because if there's a problem with the healthcare sector, there is a problem with your entire economy. Sick people cannot function. Sick people cannot work. And we see doctors, after spending 7 to 10 years of their life practicing to save lives, they wear their lab coat and they're on the street with placard under the sun asking that they're paid their salaries. What?
It's unfortunate, really. And like you just said, sick people can't run productive nations. If a larger percentage of your population is sick, the economy is sick because productivity can be guaranteed. If you ask me. And like you said, again, when I'm going to see an end, yes, there would always be industrial disputes. I want more salary, I want more allowances. And that's why I'll also be appealing to the doctor to use it. I've seen the NMA, for example, recommend that, look, for us to have a turnaround, a positive turnaround with medical care in Nigeria, we probably have to come up with a law that mandates our politicians, while in office, to only use Nigerian hospitals. That if we get to that point, and it's not just Nigerian hospitals, public hospitals, as a governor, you must use the general hospital in your state, any of the general hospitals. Because again, if you say they should use medical facilities in Nigeria, there are hospitals in Nigeria that are expensive as the ones in the abroad. So I just want to appeal to the enemy. Because I've seen the effect of strike by doctors. See, patients are left unattended to. Some people are scheduled for surgery. They are abandoned because doctors are not available. And nurses can't do the job of doctors. See, nurses can't do the job of doctors. So we will appeal to them, while we also appeal to the government to please listen to them, go back to the negotiation table. According to story, I think they were supposed to meet last week again to continue negotiations. But again, that was stalled because of the burial rights of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Right. I want to beg the Minister of Health, I think that's again, where our doctors will go on strike. That will be triple jeopardy for the people. They are hungry. They are hungry. And then they can't have medical care again. We are begging the government, please listen to the doctors and avoid this strike. Whatever can be done should be done, please.
All right. Well, the National Assembly is in the news again. The Senate is drawing the battle line over Natasha's return. The Senate has warned the suspended lawmaker representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, to desist from forcefully resuming her legislative duties on Tuesday. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Yemi Adaramodu, gave the warning in a statement issued on Sunday, while insisting that no valid court order mandated her immediate recall. Adaramodu said the Senate remained committed to due process and the rule of law. Now, he says, and I'm reading verbatim, the Senate of the Federal Republic had before the expiration of her suspension. The clarification followed media reports quoting the embattled lawmaker as saying she would return to the Senate on Tuesday, allegedly based on a judgment by Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court in Abuja. However, Adaramodu said that the Senate had previously issued 2 public statements after the court ruling and the release of the certified true copy of the enrolled order, making it clear that no positive or mandatory directive was issued against the Senate during her recall. He says, rather, the Honorable Court gave a non-binding advisory, urging the Senate to consider amending its standing orders and review the suspension, which it opined might be excessive. The court also explicitly held that the Senate did not breach any law or constitutional provision in imposing the disciplinary measure based on the senator's misconduct during plenary. He said the same court found Akpoti-Uduaghan newspapers and on her Facebook page, a directive that has reportedly not been complied with. Fuad, when we saw that report that Justice Binta Nyako had asked that Natasha Akpoti returns to her position as senator. Remember that the Senate had requested for the certified true copy, and upon receiving it, we do have Adaramodu here who is explaining that that particular judgment was not mandatory. It was an advisory. They were asked to consider the punishment, and Natasha was also asked to pay a fine of 5 million naira for contempt, amongst other things. So they say it is not a mandatory judgment. If anything, it's an advisory, and from their position, they don't seem to want to take that advisory to heart at all. Or what are your interpretations of this response by the Senate?
We are now in an era where court judgments are subjected to all manner of interpretation.
Right.
In fact, what we now have is a situation where, after a judgment of a court, both the plaintiff and the defendants And that's what we are seeing again in this Natasha case. Very unfortunate that, because I've read the CTC, the certified true copy of that judgment. And I don't think there was anything missing, really, in that judgment as to the rights and privileges of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan to represent the good people of Kogi Central in the Senate. Again, the lawmakers are supposed to make the law. The executive is supposed to execute the law. Basic government that we did, the three arms of government. While the court, the judiciary, is supposed to interpret the law. And if Senator Justice Binta Nyako, in her interpretation of this case, has said that, look, you have no such right. That's like denying an entire constituency, senatorial district, a right of representation, which is in itself against the dictates of the Constitution. I don't know what Senator Adaramodu is wanting to hear. I don't know what he wants to hear again. But again, like I've told you severally on this platform, these are guys who enjoy so much impunity. You know, they say power corrupts absolutely, absolute thing of affection. Even if a court makes a pronouncement, it's not binding on us. We can interpret it the way we like. And that's why we are not making any meaningful progress with our democracy. With this kind of positioning. Well, Senator Natasha was supposed to appear last Tuesday. Again, I don't know whether I'm missing something. Because in one of the reports we got last week, are you with me?
I'm with you, Ford.
Yeah, it was said that that judgment has been appealed, right? So how can a judgment that has already been appealed become an advisory, just a mere statement of advice? So the case goes before a court, and a judge will just advise without just by the claim, it's just to tilt away completely. And it is characters like these people who are not ready to obey the law, who just think they can do things anyhow. Because if we get to the point where court judgments are no longer respected and can be interpreted as we like, to suit personal interest and political interest, then we are nowhere with our democracy. Well, I don't know whether Senator Natasha will go there on Tuesday or will still go there tomorrow. But I would have loved to see the drama. You know, it's an unending drama, and it will never end. Maybe if she goes there, they will beat her up, tear her clothes.
I don't believe that the law allows for that to happen.
The thing the law is allowed for. The thing is the law, the judgment of the court. You are still thinking that things cannot happen in this country.
I refuse to believe that that's what we have become, honestly.
Okay. There's a misinterpretation to the point where we have not gotten to where court judgments are considered just mere advice.
I mean, the judiciary needs to do better. I feel like they continue to relegate themselves. Judgment should not be confusing. I think that it should be very precise and it should be definite.
I don't say anything confusing about that.
A person who's uneducated should be able to read the judgment and understand it. That is how simple it's supposed to be. And then there should be punishment for people who deliberately misinterpret.
Charges against that. That's to the court now. What's his own business with that one? Why is he referring to that one?
I mean,
the apology. It's just anything to get a point. It's not responsible. If he fails to do that, what is his own with that one now?
Well, I think 2 newspapers and also on her Facebook page, but she hasn't done that. So citing these things as some of the reasons why she should not be allowed to come back. The part of the judgment that concerns. Well, Fuad, we have to leave the studio, but I'll just read this remaining headlines. The Punch also says Enugu crashes Bande electricity tariff to 160 naira per kilowatt. It was originally 209 naira per kilowatt.
That guy is working.
Yes,
that guy is working. I read the story.
For Band A,
I think we should go and read this.
Kilowatt hour, which is
that's I think the only state now that has been able to domesticate the Power Act, take over the power sector in the state. You know, and that's why he's able to do that.
Well, Fuad, we have to go. Unfortunately, even police retirees are supposed to protest soon. When we come, the retirees, their pensions. That's what they're protesting for.
While in active service, you don't treat them well. At retirement, they are still suffering.
Very, very unfortunate. We have to take this break. Fuad Side will be back at 8:40 for more discuss on Mainland Focus.